What's going on, everybody? It's FitMC, and welcome to the very first 2B2T stream of 2017. But it's a little different, because tonight, as you can see, we are not on 2B2T itself. No, we are on Project Vault, which, as you know, is a mega server that holds all of 2B2T's greatest builds in their prime before they were griefed. So, let me check on the stream health, make sure everyone's doing alright, which looks like it is. Perfect. So yes, let me get out of free cam mode now. Here we go. So, yes, in case you haven't seen my video in the past few months, this is Project Vault. 2B2T, as you know, is one of the oldest servers in Minecraft. It has existed for over 6 years. And with so much history on a server, we on Project Vault do our best to try and preserve it. Every base that has been built on this Anarchy server, we have tried our best to maintain here. Now, the owner of Project Vault is simply known as the Vault Curator. We don't even know who this person actually is, but he or she or whoever it is invited a whole bunch of players to be the custodians of Project Vault. So we watch over all the builds, we do slight repairs to them to make sure they're back into the condition they were in their prime. But how Project Vault works is you have a bunch of portals, and every time you walk through a portal, it brings you to that specific base. Like, for example, spoiler alerts castle. If we walk through the portal, that's right, this is the Dark Souls castle on 2B2T. This is actually where I fought Rusher. But that's how it works on Vault. You go into these portals and you find all of these pristine bases to explore. But you've already seen this base on my channel, so the idea today is we want to show you bases that you have not seen before. Because we have tons of bases on Project Vault. I mean, look at all of these. Now, I can't really give a release date yet of Vault. It's not, under my control. I'm just here to show you what we have so far, which, as you know, is quite a decent amount of bases. So let's start out with Leon's Desert Palace. I don't think I've actually shown this base before, so let's take a look. So remember, everything you find on Project Vault existed on 2B2T at one point, but has either been griefed or is just no longer there. But you can go to the coordinates that are on Project Vault and you can find the ruins of these builds. So let's take a look at the Desert Palace over here. As you can see, it's basically a jungle, but they built this giant sand fortress here, which is pretty cool. And like I said, every build on Vault is exactly the way it was when it was in its pristine form on 2B2T. So yeah, it's a little barren in here, so we'll move back outside. There we go. So yeah, the Vault Curator is saying that this base is near Passy's famous castles. Now if we go up here, here's that research station that was mentioned. I think this was built by XCC2. Who was one of my base mates at Aureus, but he's a really respected old player on 2B. He's been around since 2011, to my understanding. So we go in here, we've got the ladder going up, which is pretty cool. Up and up and up. Yes, I am using the Impact client right now, so I have access to X-Ray and all of those things. But it's really cool because it is like walking into a museum. That's basically what it is like. So yeah, look at this. We got all these cool observing platforms over here. Got some random mushrooms growing, like a little biozone in here. It says Botany Lab. XCC2 had really creative ideas here. Really cool. Here's the central area, a bunch of chests and stuff. So overall, really cool build. Really cool. Alright, so let's head back down. I don't want to break anything, so we're going down the normal way. So let me check on stream health now. We're at 500 people watching, so welcome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm reading my stream chat right now. It is like time travel, isn't it? And down here you've got a lot of resources, and whoa. This goes a little deeper. So I really like the staggered cactus farm here. I mean, that's really neat. Just, I will say some of the most creative things I've ever seen in Minecraft are on 2b2t. But just be aware, 2b2t.org is an anarchy server, which means there are no rules. You can hack, you can cheat, you can steal. There's no censorship in chat either, so be prepared to see some really colorful language. Some of which I've used in the past. Alright. Open, close door. Let's see if it works. Oh, of course it does. So even on Vault, all redstone circuitry is restored for the most part. Let's see. Go in here. Yeah, just a really interesting cobble build down here with a little fountain. Very cool. So let me see. There we go. So we'll go back out this way. Let's try and head back up to the surface, which I think... Here we go. So now, whenever you're done touring a base, you have to look for the portal, which is usually quartz with prismarine lights on it, and it's just a little purple portal. You walk through, and bam, you are back. And believe it or not, this is Wrath Outpost, but it's been outfitted as sort of the hub of Project Vault. It's very cool. Now, we're going to take a look at a newer base that actually was not griefed that long ago, La Rosa. So let's take a look. So, the players that played here were Mbash, Thrax, Keyholder, Cheez-It, MRX, Sharpie, James Russells, Cartman, whole bunch of old players. Yeah, Uber Slug Cake, that's right. Dedication, motivation, acceleration. But now, La Rosa was a very active base. And when we first added the portal to it on Vault, we didn't actually, you know, have the portal active just because it was still an active base at the time and we didn't want people getting coordinates for it. So that's why. But yep, let's take a look in here. We got a little biodome. Reminiscent of what Pop Bob used to make on 2B, which was these big domes. But this has a little more life in it than his do now. Got our farms here. Melon, pumpkin. It's a really cool... Oh, I love the fact that you can see the biome changes just by looking at the grass. Look at that. So you've got like the more limeish green grass here. And then the more sterile green there. So you can actually see the biome changes. Really cool. And down we go. Take a look down here. Just more caves. Not fully mined out, I can see. That's alright. So let's head back up this way. Oops. Where's the exit? I don't want to break anything to get out of here. Yeah, it's gotta be this way again. Come on. Get down. Am I still in fly mode? Come on. Enough of that. There we go. So we just go down the normal way. Let me check on stream chat. Wow, 750 people watching. What's up, everybody? Here we go. Here's the door. Now, yeah, there's some really cool architecture, but I want to go up to the gold farm up here. Very reminiscent of the one we had at Aureus. Not as big, but, you know, a gold farm is a gold farm. Is a gold farm is a gold farm. But it's so advanced here, it's even lagging my computer. Think about that. But it still works. The pigs are coming out. They get deposited in this area here. Very effective. Alright, so then let's get out of here. Yeah, my frame rate tanked around that gold farm. Holy cow. So head back down here. We've got a rainbow tower. It's a very flamboyant tower. Nothing wrong with that. There we go. This goes all the way up. Just a bunch of different layers of grass. Now this build looks pretty cool. First, let's take a look at this. The brewing area, as you can see, had quite a bit of work done to it. It's kind of hard to miss with all the nether wart just kind of sitting around. So let's take a look in here. So I'm trying to remember if this was the iron farm. I think this is the iron farm. Yeah. And here's where the redstone circuitry is. A big machine like this requires a lot of mechanical skill. Even this kind of redstone is beyond me unless I was looking at a tutorial. So what the Vault Curator is saying, that a lot of things were added by the player Cartman after the occupants left 2B2T. Yes. You have to remember, in 2016, even before Rushers showed up, a lot of players actually left 2B2T for good, and many have not returned since. And a lot of those were actually my friends. You know, a lot of stuff happened even before Rushers showed up. Alright, so over here there's a big pony. I'm guessing that was probably made by Spartan. And this is a lot of vines over here. Look at this. Now, anytime you see a big tree like this with all the vines, there's a good chance Awesome Guy Monkey made it. He's known for his massive tree houses. The one he built with us at Aureus, his tree house was massive. You know, and when he finally destroyed that thing, it went up like a Christmas tree when he lit it on fire. And look at this. We got ourselves a nice X-Wing here. And just remember, people, this was not built in creative. This was done in survival. On an anarchy server with no grief protection. That just makes everything so much more impressive, in my opinion. So much more impressive. And I mean, look at this. Even if you gave me creative, I couldn't make anything like this. It's gorgeous. I mean, it just goes to show you that even when you're limited, there are no limits. Especially with 2B2T on an anarchy server where you have to get everything yourself, people can still build these magnificent structures. So let's see. Oh, looks like Kane's Law's joined. That's awesome. Now over here, check out this bad boy. Ha! You probably have seen cubes like this on the Minecraft Reddit before, but someone actually built this bad boy on 2B2T. Yeah, beautiful. But just think about how much time it must have taken to make this. In survival. In survival. You believe that? I still can't get over it. La Rosa's a very impressive base. It looks like they were going to build something here. Alright. There's one more thing over here. It's like a big rainbow, I'm guessing. Sure enough, just made out of wool. Oh, you wouldn't want to put a flint and steel next to that thing. No, you would not. Alright, well, I think we've seen about enough of La Rosa. I'd say so. So we got 900 people watching. That's awesome. So yes, like I said, Vault is not ready to go public yet. There's still a lot of testing that needs to be done. We need to make it idiot-proof, essentially. If we want visitors on here, we want to make sure nothing is exploitable. We want to make sure that we have a good environment for people to explore these builds in. Alright, so this is La Rosa. Very cool. I didn't show you all of it, but that's okay because someday you'll be able to see it for yourself. Alright, so now we are back in the hub again. We just got done touring La Rosa. So there are a lot of other bases I haven't showed you yet. Like Hard Hat's Pyramid, I've shown you that before. Let's see what else. Yeah, Aureus City, of course, is added. Kinograd base. There's a few others. But I want to show you a really cool one. Here it is. So, Baghdad was actually a base built in less than 24 hours by the 4th Incursion. Even though we wanted to make sure we didn't have any bases during the war that people could, attack, the 4th Incursion went ahead and built a base anyway. It was built in a desert biome. We called it Baghdad. So when you get out here, look, like all of this. We built all of this in under 24 hours. But it just goes to show you that even the old players just completely outclassed the rushers. I mean, all of this was built in a day. A day. You believe that? I mean, full-on farms with cocoa beans. It's crazy to think about. All of this. Even the dog statues that were made by Demon. I mean, everything here built in less than 24 hours. So, we were dedicated at the time. We were quite dedicated. And luckily, our enemies never found this place. But we ended up griefing most of it ourselves because we were bored. Alright. So yes, there's a lot of different bases to behold here on Project Vault. Very cool. Now, I'm trying to think of what I want to show you next. Actually, I know. I want to show you a base, even though I've showed you parts of it, I don't think I've ever shown it off when it was ungriefed. Asgard 2 was a very popular base that I based at. I want to actually show you my original house at Asgard 2. So, we log in here. At the base of the statue here, I actually put in this Mountain Dew and Doritos here. I actually put this right below the statue. So as you can see, this is a list of all of my base mates before things went crazy. Now, my house was all the way over here. And like I said, I was a pretty modest person. I didn't really build fancy. I built this small little house, which, if you watch my hardcore playthroughs, you recognize this design. If we go in, it's got all the amenities. I even had powered windows so I could open and close them for a breeze. I really enjoyed it. And then, secret ender chest, of course, which I had access to. Close that, though. And down here was my world-famous AFK pumpkin pie farm. That's right. Oh, but there's no chickens in the chicken dispenser, so you can't see it there. But that's alright. So, yes. Now, if we look around... Oh, yeah, the big airplane. I was really sad when Asgard 2 was griefed because someone just took a flint and steel and they just burned the whole thing and it went down pretty much instantly. But, I mean, look at this thing. It's beauty. Click on it there, and we are inside. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Make sure you store all luggage in the overhead compartments. Actually, there are no overhead compartments. There's just slabs. Where is it? Where's the John? No, that's not the John. Where's the John? Here we go. Ha! Nice. So we hop down. This was the main hall of Asgard 2, which you might recognize this building design from Shenandoah. Ah yes, and here's the mark of the Legion in here. Because remember, many Shenandoah players came to Asgard 2. This was a meeting place of a lot of different players. And a lot of pixel art was done. I believe the ponies were done by Tristan. I think that's who, you know, did those. And then in here, I remember when I first arrived at Asgard, I came in here and it was just stereotypical farm, so I'm like, you know what, we need to upgrade. So I put in auto melon farms instead of having just rows of melon. And as you can see, it paid off big time. Look at all these melons. And that was back when the TPS was not so bad on 2B2T. When I was basing at Asgard 2, the maximum amount of players playing at like any time was 30. And that was a lot. At night it would get down to less than 10. You know, so those were different days on 2B2T before the huge server explosion. If we go up here, there's actually like a boat canal up here. I mean, like, look at this. It's pretty sweet. With the rapids and everything, although with the new boats, they'd probably sink trying to go up these rapids. Yeah, I wonder, yeah, could we take a boat down this thing? Let's find out. I bet we can. Oh boy, and it's... Am I in it still? I can't tell. What is happening? I'm in the boat still, apparently, but I'm like glitching out. Alright, well, so much for that idea. But yes, this was Asgard 2. Absolutely beautiful for a base. Alright, now I want to go back to the hub, because there's something else I really want to show you. Something that is unique to Project Vault. Yes, we not only keep bases, but we also keep written histories and player histories as well. And what I mean by that is we actually have a huge collection of player heads of all the most famous players in 2B2T history. So let me find the end real quick. Here we go. So yes, all of you, if you haven't already, make sure you like the stream. You know, I forget to say that sometimes. And if you're new here and you're curious about what 2B2T is, or you enjoy base tours in general, make sure you subscribe. Alright, but here's the end hub on Project Vault. And I'm heading over this way because this is the Hall of Player Heads. Only the most famous players get into this hall. And regardless of how the members of Vault feel about some of the players, we put them in regardless. So we've got Pyrobite, King of 2B2T. Let me take out my HUD. There we go. So we have a lot of different players from 2B2T's history. There's Jared, Jack the Ripper, Snacky, the legend himself, Housemaster, Coconut 4. You name it. We've got all these players. Spartan, James Russell, Sato, Khaleesi, Victor, Henry, Oremonger, Exodus, Sherlock, Pop Bob. You know, the list goes on. So we've got tons in here. I mean, all the major players that have played throughout the years are in here. Hinder, Cameron, XCC2, Tonad, Stormtrooper, Slowdive, Passy, who built all those castles and was one heck of a builder. XOXP, Baloney Pony, who I actually fought him at Spawn in the year 2015, and we actually stopped fighting because we were both like impressed by each other, and that's how we became friends. Although I don't really speak to Baloney much anymore. Baloney, and then where is he? Silver Crown King and Baloney Pony, and here's my head over here. Those were the two I worked together with when I performed the only major grief I have ever performed on this server. They were with me when we took out Paradise Island. And there's a long story behind that one, but I'll get into it someday. It was not just random. We had our reasons for doing it. Here's Kino Rana, the legendary blacksmith. Parthicus, who I was visiting with him before the holidays. Zarviar. The Pompano. Herc, you name it. Cold Wave. FTS. Now, yeah, Tricka, the judge, who's known for the 2B2T comics. Clyde, Talo. Talo was a huge rival of mine on 2B for many years. We fought each other in PvP combat all the time. I'd win sometimes, he'd win sometimes, and eventually we just respected each other enough where we just stopped fighting, you know? And then we sort of became friends afterwards. We got Oftopia over here. We've got Imperator. All of the famous players that have contributed builds or other parts to 2B2T culture. Now, we haven't added the Camping Rusher yet. We need to. And don't worry, we haven't forgotten about him because, love him or hate him, he has contributed to 2B2T's history. And even down here, we've got more famous players. So who knows, if you're watching now, you might make it into this hall someday. You know, players are consistently making a name for themselves. Oh yeah, look at, here's Taragadude, Legato, Yellowstone Joe, Sleepy Little Fox, you name it. Monoxide, all of the classics. So you never know if you might make it in here someday. Oh yes, of course, Dr. Zombie is here. Russell League, another old base mate of mine. Sprinkles, I remember him, of course. Good friend. It's really nostalgic. Oh yeah, BibleBot. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, it's kind of nostalgic going through all these player heads in here. You know, I haven't seen some of these players in years. In fact, a lot of them probably don't even realize their heads are in a museum right now. So that's really funny to think about. So let's see, what else? Oh yeah, Uber Slug. Yeah, you're on here somewhere, Uber. You gotta be. Here's Police Mike, Polly the Parrot, Imager Jang, who made the Valley of Wheat. Oh yeah, come on. Uber Slug Kick, you gotta be in here somewhere. I know you are. Yep, here you are, yep. Dedication, motivation, acceleration, comrade. So yes, this is where we keep most of the famous players. And we're still adding to it. You never know who might pop up in here someday. Alright, here's the Vault Curator. He's constantly watching over us. He's like the big brother of Project Vault. Alright, so let's head back up. Oh no, not there. This is what we want. There we go. Tugboat Base, I've shown you that before on my channel. King's Landing, you've seen. The Valley of Wheat. Yes, Squid Base, you've seen all of that. The end. Let's see. The Ravine Base is a cool little base. You may have not have heard of this one. Someone took a ravine and they actually built a legitimate base in it. I mean, put staircases in it. They had horses, grass, dogs. And it was right on the edge over here. If you go out here, it's just boom, water. Built right on the edge of a chunk error. They just went in and built a base here. So people can get really creative on 2B2T. And remember, if you want your base to go undiscovered, the easiest way to make sure that happens is to just never show pictures or videos of it. You know, even I have a few spawn bases that have been undiscovered just because I don't film in them, I don't take pictures of them. I just gotta keep them as is. Yeah, some interesting structures in here, but we've basically seen all of Ravine Base. And like I said, eventually you will be able to explore all of these bases yourself. So it'll be very cool. Alright, in we go. Once again, what's another base I haven't shown you yet? Joler Mansion. I don't think I've shown you this one. Yes, now I believe, yes, this base belonged to Spartan, I believe it was. He built this a long time ago, just like a little sky base. Go in here. In 2014. You know, just a nice, quaint little base. You know, not every base has, like, the aesthetics of, like, an Oftopia base. Many times, they're just quaint, and I like them that way. And so we look around here. Got some cool biomes around, like the Mushroom Forest and whatnot. Very cool. Now, I've wanted to live stream Project Vault for the longest time, but Vault was down for several months. So I was not able to, but now I am, so don't worry. There are more base tours to come. I won't be doing all of them tonight, obviously, because we'd be here for 6 hours. But eventually, get used to seeing more and more base tours. Formal ones. Not even necessarily streams like this. We might just put out normal videos, and I'll have the actual history behind them as well. Let's see. I want to show you at least one more tonight. Let's see. One that I have not shown you yet. Because there's just so many. Avalon, Old Town, Old City. Off-Topian, the Judge Holden. Their old base, Fort Walker, Block Rockers, New Milltown, Yiffington, Snacky's Library. Oh! Snacky North's Library. Let's take a look. At least what's left of it anyway. I don't think we've ever managed to ungrief this place. This is kind of just how we found it on 2B2T. Now, this is one of Snacky North's old bases. It's in pretty rough shape. Not all builds come to us fully, refurbished. Many times, the copies we have are just the way they are on 2B2T. So if you look here, a lot of this stuff has not been removed, like the random towers and stuff. But Snacky North, if you don't know, he based with us at Aureus. And he's part of the reason why Aureus was destroyed. But if you watch my Aureus videos, it'll explain. So yes, even the carpets here are ripped out, or they were burned. But a Mushroom Island build, those are always cool. And building on Mushroom Islands, especially in vanilla, is not a bad idea because you don't have to worry about hostile mob spawns. You know, nighttime is usually safe for you then. I can't remember, was there anything down this way? I'm not sure if there was. Just more random stuff, I guess. There probably was something here at one point, but it's been grieved. Nothing but floating stone bricks remain. But that's alright. So someone in chat just asked, are the coordinates of Vault the actual coordinates on 2B? And the answer is yes, they are. If you find coordinates on Project Vault, you will be able to go to those coordinates on the server 2B, and you will be able to see exactly where those ruins are. So yeah, as you can see, this is pretty much all that's left of Snacky North's base, his library. A lot of people have asked, are the Drain and our Fitlantis on Project Vault yet? No, we are in the process of putting them in their proper locations on the map. But once we do that, they will be open. So you can tour Fitlantis, you can film like on the Drain, you can do whatever you want. Alright, well I think that does it. So let's find our portal back. Here we go. So I've only shown you just a small amount of the bases that are on Project Vault. Now, like I said, frequently asked questions, when will Project Vault be available to the public? I can't really say, because I don't even know. Like I said, the Vault Curator is a very mysterious person. No one really knows much about the Vault Curator. And like I said, all we can tell you is that when it's done, it's done. Let's see, what else do you have in chat here? Oh yes, so once again, if you're new here and you like these kinds of base tours, if you're interested in Project Vault or 2B2T, one of the oldest servers in Minecraft, make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't already, people, make sure you like the stream as well. You know, a lot of people have been asking for a Project Vault live stream, so I wanted to make sure I could give it to them. But yeah, this is pretty much all I have for today, everyone. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that I got out some nice 2B2T stuff this year, because I know I haven't been able to get on as much lately, but ever since the big subscriber boom, since the world record, you know, I've been really busy with a lot of other different video types, just trying to broaden my horizons, but no, I am still an active part of 2B2T. And if you're one of my younger viewers, just remember, 2B2T is a very hostile place. It's a very adult place. So if you decide to log on to 2b2t.org, just be aware you're going to see some very offensive things. Other than that, though, that's all I have for you, Stream Chat. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Thanks for continuing to support me and the channel. I really appreciate it. You know, don't worry. I've got more videos and streams coming up this week. And we're doing another server crashing Saturday night, so don't miss it. And, yeah. Other than that, that's all I have for you. So, I'm going to let the stream play for about another 30 seconds. And I'll let you all enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm going to be watching Awesome Games Done Quick. That's what I'm going to be watching tonight. I'm going to brew some tea. You know, just kind of relax and enjoy myself. So, take it easy, everyone. You're the best fans I could ever ask for. And we'll see you next time, everybody. We will see you next time.